What's up, everybody? Welcome. It's your boy DBGTX-YT. As you guys can hear me, it's not a very exciting morning for us Black Clover fans right now. We are about to go into a situation where, to be honest, I don't know what's the ending of it, was the outcome of it, but I can only do this video to kind of help you guys kind of break down exactly what's going on. And as you guys can see here in my screen right here, this is a breaking news. Black Clover is coming to an ending. The anime is coming to an ending on March 30th. And this shit hurts. I'm not gonna lie. Black Clover is one of my favorite animes. I been invested into this show for 3 years as it started airing. Through thick and thin, I've been here. I've been one of the advocates for the show. I've been one of the guys who've been pushing the Black Clover content. You know, when the first video game came out, there was no advertisement, no nothing. I played it, I advertised it. It died as quickly as it came out, and I played it, and I was here. When people were shitting on the animation, the early animation, we're here, I was here, still supporting Black Clover. So, needless to say, as you guys can see my catalog, I have 100 videos plus of reactions to this great series, and it hurts. It really does. It really does hurt me that Studio Pierrot decided to call up and essentially pull the plugs right now. But let me explain to you guys what's happening, because this is obviously a two-sided story here. This isn't just a situation where, oh, they're pulling the plugs because the anime wasn't doing well or the manga isn't doing well or anything like that. That's not the case here. What's really happening is that in the case of Black Clover, there's two key things that needs to be addressed when discussing Black Clover anime. And for one is the weekly schedule, which was terrible since the very beginning for this particular series. Studio Pierrot was tasked with not only continuing the Naruto series with Boruto and giving as much quality episodes with the Boruto series on a week-to-week basis, but they were also tasked with this show, and they were given the option to go seasonal with the show or go weekly with the show. But for some reason, TV Tokyo and Studio Pierrot agreed that they were going to end up going weekly instead of seasonal. And when I tell you that this decision from the pipeline has hurt the quality of this show from a not only an animation standpoint, but from a directive standpoint, this is the outcome or the consequences of that. It happens with every single show that doesn't have either a good pacing or the manga's far ahead, but we want to stick as much as close as possible to the manga source. It happens with a lot of shows, but this one in particular caught up with his manga source at one point, and they had to give it a whole filler arc. So under the suspicion of it being a weekly anime, that is the most ideal case. That is right. For those who think that the reason why Black Clover is disappearing or going or leaving after the 30th, if you guys think that the reason why this is happening is because the Black Clover community hasn't supported Black Clover, or the viewership has gone down, or that the serializations aren't selling, you're wrong. That's not the case at all. That's not the case here. That is not the case here. The case is that the original producer right here The original producer of Black Clover anime series, Tatsuya Yoshihara, he is the guy who's been working at Studio Pierrot week to week with the Black Clover anime series. He's the guy who delivered all of the original opening bangers. He's the guy who was delivering on episode 46. He's the guy who delivered on episode 98. Yeah, that's the guy who overworked himself. Yeah, if you've heard of it, that's who Tatsuya Yoshihara is. Tatsuya Yoshihara single-handedly kept this anime afloat for the first 43 episodes. Not sleeping, losing sleep, losing hours. It's nuts, the thing that the directors had to do in order to make sure that the quality for this was at least at par. And this is essentially what ended up happening, was that up to episode 153, Tatsuya Yoshihara was arguing the case that Black Clover should go seasonal. And it happened somewhere around episode 100 or so. That was right after the Licht versus Yuno and Asta fight, that the anime source was pretty much catching up with the manga source. Because of that, they had to go ahead, unfortunately, and give us a whole filler arc. All these different kind of fillers. When I tell you we got 32 episodes of filler, it was 32 episodes of filler, and outrageously enough, they had no correlation with the main story. There was it was just that. It was just filler. So at episode 153, as you guys may have read, if you haven't read, this is exactly what happened. Around episode 153, Tatsuya went ahead and stepped down. What ended up happening at that point was that Ayataka Tanemura and Kanichi Kato, who are also vets from Pierrot and have been working on different series as well, stepped in. At this point, from episode 153 all the way up to the current episode, Ayataka and Kanichi have been the heads and the writers. Now, the damage is already done from the previous 100 and plus episodes, because the week to week grind is too much. So with that being said, they brought it back up to Pierrot Studios and TV Tokyo that the show really should go seasonal, just like its other big three quote unquote new gen big three quote unquote counterpart. So if you know what I'm talking about, in reference, we talking about My Hero Academia, we're talking about Jujutsu Kaisen, and we're also talking about Black Clover. These three are the top three that were in serialization at one point. So they brought it back up that the show should be going seasonal, just like My Hero Academia, who's done it seasonally and has had wonderful reception, has had well-staffed animation, and the pacing of each episode has been great, allowing breathing room for the artist, i.e. the author, Yuki Tabata, to be able to go ahead and get ahead in the series without worrying about, will my show catch up, will the anime show catch up to the manga, and when that happens, what are they gonna do? Are they gonna go ahead and give it the bleach treatment, which means they're gonna just stop the episode abruptly and switch it over to some filler, or they're gonna go ahead and add something in the mix that had never happened in the manga, which can really cause issues with the community based off the fact that now you're deviating completely from the original source. And that's something that has been a staple in the community that you don't want to do. As you may have known, The Promised Neverland has been doing the same thing. It deviated completely from the story. People have been dejected. The viewership for Promised Neverland has gone down, and with that, they may not even get a season 3 if the way that happened and shaped out. But that's not the case with Black Clover. The best case scenario here right now for this show is that on March 30th, we're going to go ahead and receive the final quote unquote episode for this particular season for Black Clover. And the announcement that we're getting in March is that more than likely Black Clover is going to go seasonal from that point forward in order to give the animation staff breathing room. Because this year, Bleach is also coming back. So I'm assuming that whatever's replacing Black Clover will more than likely end up being either Bleach or the first season of Chainsaw Man. Those are my opinion, I think, in regards to what could be the possible replacement there. But it's much needed. At the end of the day, that's what this video is about. Is a much needed break, is a much needed step away from the current pace that the show has. And to be honest, I wouldn't be surprised if they do a Demon Slayer kind of thing here with Black Clover. Don't quote me on that, because I highly doubt that that's what's going to happen. But when I say Demon Slayer, what I mean by that is that there's a big possibility that what we could end up getting is a movie and then a seasonal series, and then the final one, the final bit will be another movie. Don't know if that's a good decision. I don't know if there's a fan base for Black Clover to be able to push like that. That's the other case scenario. I don't know. The third case scenario is that it just got canceled completely. Like, they just thought that the show isn't doing well enough, or that the animation is just not going to be on par, and that they just don't want to continue it. Or the author turned around and said, I don't want y'all to continue the anime, because the author does have a right to also do that if the animation isn't up to par, or it's making him suffer his serialization because of the quality, or whatever the case might be. The author can possibly do that, and they can stop the running of the show. So that's it. That's the information I got. I know this video is a little bit longer than usual, just to break a 1-minute clip explaining, that Black Clover is unfortunately leaving us on March 30th. But what I can tell you guys is that I've had an amazing ride for the 100+ episodes I've been here. I love you guys. I'm going to continue talking about the manga. I'm going to continue supporting Black Clover projects if there's any in the future, of course. And we will be back here, of course. Black Clover Tuesday is going to always be remembered here on the channel as one of the best stints that I've ever had with a community and a fan base. So with that being said, I'm gonna leave it at that. That's the news that I got for you guys. I know it's breaking news, but we will still continue doing our reactions, and I promise you guys that today we will have the Black Clover latest episode reaction as well. Thank you. Hope you guys enjoyed this video. Make sure you share, like, continue subbing, and continue spreading the actual right information in regards to why Black Clover is going away for now, versus people stating that the show was just trash or ass or anything like that. Okay? Holla at me. Love you guys, and see you guys later.